So considerations for falling this tree. It's back leaning 3 to 5 degrees. It's got a hook back at the top. It does not favor the lay. It's limb tied in that other pine, and so what we did was we set an anchor at the top of the tree through a line, and then Basil anchored it for the pole. And then what I'm standing where you can't see my foot, what I just set my saw on is a freshly laid gravel pad for a shed, so he couldn't hit it, or else I would have liked to shoot the tree up a little bit as opposed to directly back against the lean. But that was our only lay for it, so as to not damage the freshly laid gravel pad. And so as you can see, I'm wearing a wedge belt, and that was because we only had so much pull with the fiddle blocks before, and I wasn't sure that we were going to be able to pull the tree over because of how bad it favored backward. And so what I'm doing, after heavy consideration, we decided to use an open undercut, and then so as the tree had more fall room before it impacted and sheared the hinge. Connor was a little bit concerned about it with this belly in the spar bouncing and kicking sideways, but I figured that it would be okay because of the heavy limb loading out, which would be toward the camera, so I wasn't worried about it bouncing, or else I would have tied the butt off. But these are some considerations when you're looking at a tree, especially trees that grow in groves when you're only removing one. You have to be pretty cautious about where you're going to put it. You can see I'm talking here about how much tension I want. So now I'm in my back cut. I've decided to leave a little bit of a fatter post on the far side, which would be the tip side of my bar there, and I always palm a wedge unless it seriously favors forward, and even then typically I palm a wedge. I can watch it sit back just a little bit on that wedge, so I go ahead and tap it in, making sure my bar's clear. So that's basically preventing it from leaning back, and I'm checking my hinge on the far side. You'll see me check that quite a bit on these tighter shots. So I'm cut up, and the worst thing you can do if a tree isn't going is to keep cutting. You should just stop cutting and start banging wedges. As you can see now, I'm getting great command, but the tree's not very big, so I knew I was going to bottom out, and so I went straight for the stack. Those are black bear rifled that I use. I carry 8 separate wedges on when I'm falling, and I've definitely been in situations where I've used all 8, ran back to the truck to grab another 6, depending on what I'm doing and how hard the pull is and how many trees we're trying to take at once. But as you can see, I'm getting great movement in it now. Those rifled felling wedges prevent anything from spitting out. So yeah, there it starts to go. As you can see, when it hits the ground, it is quite static. There's no bounce, there's no nothing. Very controlled felling. So yeah, it went really well. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys.